CJ, a great spotter.
I just don't know my own lines.
Yeah, you got it?
So how far do I go down?
All the way, dude.
All the way.
Welcome back to another episode of Driving Line Builds. Today we're wheeling up at Bald Mountain, which is located up in the Sierra Nevadas, just above Fresno, up at Shaver Lake. This is a pretty moderate trail. It's not too hard. It can be pretty easy with a lot of obstacles off the main path. So we figured this would be a great trail to come try out, flex your legs, get her on some rocks, and see what this suspension can do. Let's air down and hit the trail. Our first main obstacle here on Bald Mountain, which is called V-Rock. We're gonna kick things off today. Hopefully have some of our friends get up here and do it.
I've not done V-Rock. I'm probably gonna leave that to you guys.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna try left line. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, see an overland rig going up some rocks today.
My.
So we just did V-Rock. It was a blast. I'm super excited at how the Jeep did. We hit all 3 different lines on it and it just works. So now we're gonna head down Hollywood Hill, which is a really steep granite face, and hit an old riverbed at the very bottom to get things really twisted up. You have fun?
Oh yeah, always.
If you don't know this guy, this is CJ, and this guy knows how to party for sure. As you can see by his Jeep, super fun to wheel with. Always great to have CJ along. Just completely worth every second of headaches. If you can't tell, I'm having an absolute blast. Felt pretty good. Honestly, it just crawled right up. Got some nice new scratches on the trailing arms, but Jeep's making this way too easy. We need bigger obstacles, Chad.
Let's get it.
I'm a fiend, I'm an outcast, I'm a shadow. I stand with a lot of souls, looking for a hustle. Got a pulse on the streets, I'm the one who will look in the eye.
Go on, let it work. Let it work.
I was made in the shadows, where the light ain't allowed to go. When the line gets a little blurry, you're gonna need somebody like me.
Thought we were going to end this series with just some rock crawling. Now it's time for some desert fun. So we were out here in Barstow, California, out in an OHV area just off Highway 15 to finally test out this suspension. I'm not gonna lie, rock crawling was a blast in this thing, but I've been way more excited to really get this thing out here, get some speed, and see what this suspension's really gonna do. I can't wait any longer. Let's go hit some whoops and see what this Jeep's really gonna do. Jared?
Oh yeah.
What do you think, Austin?
That was crazy. That went crazy. It went flying.
You guys did.
So that was a fun little test run. Just getting a feel for the Jeep. Obviously, it needs a lot of tuning. This is, like I said, this isn't nothing already tuned from King. This is off the shelf, out of the box, you know, valving and all that good stuff. So we're just kind of getting an idea of what's going on. I don't want to go too fast and, you know, put myself in a bad situation, but this is a ton of fun and I'm already having a blast. I think we're gonna keep testing a little bit, find some other whoop sections and see what it does. Well, so obviously the Jeep is done and we finally got to go wheel it on the trail. And of course we got to go up to Shaver Lake on some granite and got to hit a little bit of the desert, which I think the Jeep was a ton of fun. It did really well in both applications. Of course, the Jeep still needs a lot of tuning in the shocks. I mean, like I said, these are off the shelf from King. So we do have to play around with the bypass tubes quite a bit and probably play around with the coil some more. Overall, the Jeep did really well and I had a ton of fun with it. What do you think, Chad?
I think the build actually came out very smooth. We did have a few issues along the way, but it wasn't something that held us back for too long. But the experience of putting it together and making a lot of different parts that don't really go together was a great experience, and then actually seeing them work together basically felt like magic.
One of the cool things about this process, and I'm sure that you saw watching the build, is that you don't need a bunch of fancy tools or machines to make custom parts or do a build like this. pretty much everything we had to make custom out of sheet metal was done with a cutoff wheel, basic flappers. Yeah, we had a plasma cutter, basic welder, so we didn't have no fancy CNC machines, nothing like that, which would have made life a lot easier in a lot of cases, but we didn't have that. So it was really cool to be able to build this Jeep and make some custom parts with your basic garage tools.
And that's why I like to use a lot of them for this video, to inspire you guys to pick up those basic hand tools and build something just as amazing as we did.
So what was your favorite part during this whole build?
My favorite part is actually cutting everything off, getting it nice and clean, and then once you actually start putting the first piece back on, it really feels like the project actually is in motion, and then you can really start seeing it come together. And that's one of my favorite things, and then obviously welding it all together is pretty fun too as well.
So the fun part for me was actually the front end. There was a lot of components that we had to kind of finesse, make work, and really think outside of the box and get creative with it. For me, that's the fun part of, you know, troubleshooting, figuring things out, and not things just bolting right up and moving on to the next. So
absolutely,
the troubleshooting and kind of having to use our brains a little bit,
yeah,
which happens once in a while.
Right, a couple brain cells up there that do work sometimes. So
it was fun to, you know, really figure that out. And I have to say, the front end has worked really well so far. We've had no issues. The steering has been awesome. It hasn't failed us yet. Nothing's come loose. Nothing's hitting things that it shouldn't be. So honestly, it worked out really well. Yeah, really well.
We only had a little bit of tolerance between all of our components, so that was like the battle with it all, especially when you articulate and stuff each corner. Everything gets very, very close when it's already close without actually being stuffed. So seeing it all marry together and work correctly was a nice sight to see. So
we do want to give a huge thanks to all the companies who helped us along the way during this build. Of course, we want to thank Nitto Tire for the 40-inch Nitto Trail Grapplers, KMC Wheels, Dynatrack Axles, Synergy Manufacturing with their custom steering. Thank you guys. We got PSC, Evo Manufacturing for their custom suspension with the trailing arm kit. Thank you guys. And of course, King Shocks, PRP Seats, and Moto Built for the custom gas tank. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks again for watching this episode of Driving Line Builds, which is unfortunately the last episode of this build series.
What are you talking about?
You may just see a motor swap for another episode. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Driving Line's channel, and hit that notification button. Till then, keep on building those Jeeps, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.